When remaking or recasting something, there's always going to be comparisons, and this is especially true for iconic projects. So with this in mind, the new upcoming HBO Harry Potter series is going to be compared to the max. It's going to be hard to even wipe the boots of the original movies. And for the new actors, this could be extremely taxing. I think it's really important that HBO learn from what happened with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. If you didn't know, Diary of a Wimpy Kid was a very impressive film series, some would even say iconic. The first 3 films will go down as some of the best kids movies in history. The stories were enjoyable for the whole family and the cast was perfect. However, by the time it came to making the 4th film, the 2 boys were far too old to play their characters. Devon Bostick, who played Roderick, would have been 26 in real life and he was trying to play a high schooler, and Zachary Gordon was 19 in real life trying to play a wimpy middle schooler. Yeah, not very realistic. So it's to no surprise the studio decided to recast. However, the studio didn't know how much of a problem this would be. They had presumed it would work as a 4th and no one would take it that seriously as it's only a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie. However, they couldn't have been more wrong and the internet took it hard, with the hashtag #NotMyRoderick going absolutely wild. Which for the poor kid playing Roderick was not fun. Charlie Wright thought he'd landed his dream role when he got cast as Roderick.
Best moment of my life.
But with the movie being poorly written and the movie having a completely different tone to the other 3, no! As well as poor costume design, I mean, what is that hairstyle? It's really not Roderick. And the audience already been really attached to the previous cast, it turned into a complete nightmare. Charlie Wright actually suffered quite heavily mentally and financially as the next 2 movies were cancelled, meaning he lost a potential earnings of nearly $500,000. Thankfully, Charlie Wright is a pretty resilient guy and is doing very well now on social media. But his story could have been a lot worse and something HBO needs to be very wary of with their new Harry Potter series. They have been doing open casting calls here in the UK for the kids roles. These kids will likely be brand new to the world of fame and the potential criticism it could come with. They need to give these kids the best chance of not having to go through what Charlie did with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So HBO need to make sure the writing and production is top tier. I have faith they can do this as HBO have made some world-class TV series over the years, from the likes of Game of Thrones to more recently The Penguin. But they can also follow Game of Thrones season 8. And they cannot do this with such a popular franchise like Harry Potter. I mean, just say something bad or off about Harry Potter online and see how fans react. So imagine if they make it bad. HBO have almost given themselves an impossible task. It's almost going to take an act of God for it to be as good as the original films. So we as fans need to go into it expecting nothing, and if it is bad, blame HBO and not the poor kids who are trying to step into the shoes of Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, Tom Felton and so on.